Scrap. 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 Make it worth your while. Scrap.
So everybody, welcome to the very first Scraptitude Top 15 segment. I, the man of the people, Jeffrey Akins, am here with my co-host, the godfather of MMA analytics, Timothy Lewis. At the end of the day, the numbers got to speak for him, so let's get it. Number 11, TJ Dillashaw. Let me know, Tim.
Well, now I'll drink that haterade that I just poured into the toilet, Jeffrey.
Ooh.
Because TJ Dillashaw, I am a notorious hater. You date back to the earliest of the Scraptitude podcast. Snake Tears.
Snake Tears?
Well, I believe that was in one of the titles. So you know that in terms of how we feel? Well,
Clearly.
Well, not big fans of TJ Dillashaw. However, in terms of the process, the SVR, he has 16 UFC fights. In terms of the FDR, he pops higher than many of the other fighters on this list, all the way up to about right there. It's pretty crazy what TJ Dillashaw has done, and I know that he's fallen from grace, but he's going to return to this division, and somebody with that kind of profile who's achieved what he's achieved, you got to put respect there.
Moving on, let's get it. Number 12, Jung, a Korean zombie.
Gets a little muddled here, Jeff, with these
Yes.
next four. We had trouble shuffling these about because there's factors such as how many times have you fought in the UFC? What age are you? Are we going to expect your best to come, or is it already in the rear view mirror? Korean Zombie kind of strikes the sweet spot compared to these other fighters on the list here, and he has done some amazing things against some high-level guys, and he has sustained this high-level performance across generations in one of the most star-studded stacked divisions in the UFC. Jung, according to our criteria, fits in there, and I can't disagree.
Can't disagree. So, let's keep going. 13, a personal favorite, and I know a favorite of yours too, Valentina Shepchenko.
Valentina, man, she's one of my favorites, and you know, if you're just watching film, you're grinding through that, you may have a different opinion because she's one of the most poetic fighters to watch. She's a savage, but she's also so many adjectives you can use to describe her, and they're all on point as long as they're complimentary. Valentina Shepchenko slots in here because she's a somewhat low-volume fighter. She hasn't fought as many times as you'd look for as a fighter in the UFC, and her finishing rate is not as high as what is rewarded by the FDR criteria. So for those reasons, somebody as talented as Valentina Shepchenko, a title holder, can slot in below some other suspect names on this list.
Let's get it. Number 14, the UFC's own heavyweight champion, greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic just retired somebody who would have been ranked higher on this list if you look at the SVR, FDR matrix. However, that man did get retired, and Stipe Miocic slots in here at number 14. The quote-unquote baddest man on the planet has a stiff test coming up in the form of John Jones. Yes, I am speaking it, believing it, and we will receive it, Scraptitude Nation. But Stipe Miocic, you gotta respect what he does, even though he doesn't necessarily pop. He ranks in a solid criteria for our FDR, and you gotta respect the accomplishments, the tenured nature of the heavyweight champion.
And now for the last name on our list, and definitely, he had to fight for this spot, folks. Definitely, Robert Whittaker.
Well, as you'll see in our honorable mentions, Jeff, Robert Whittaker did have to duke it out with some interesting names, some of which you'd expect, and others that may raise an eyebrow. However, Robert Whittaker slots in here because he fits in these ways. Age, 29 years old.
Young.
FDR, 5.3. SVR, highly accredited in terms of UFC competition. Stacked resume. So Robert Whittaker, you got to give respect where it's due. He slots in here rounding out the top 15 rankings.
That's it for today, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our Scraptitude Top 15. Obviously, we're going to have more to come. This could change at any time. We have all the data. We're crunching at all the points. Thanks for joining us. Tune in again. We'll see you.